this is my very specific question for you, right? Is that you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right?
Yeah,
isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
To be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe, but is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in this.
Should the human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also would I also would like us to radically solve these problems.
Right.
And so it's always, I don't know, transhumanism is this, the ideal was this radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body. And there's a critique of, let's say, the trans people in a sexual context, or a transvestite is someone who changes their clothes and cross-dresses. And a transsexual is someone where you change your, penis into a vagina. And we can then debate how well those surgeries work. But we want more transformation than that. The critique is not that it's weird and unnatural. It's so pathetically little. And we want more than cross-dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind and change your whole body. And then Orthodox Christianity, by the way, the critique Orthodox Christianity has of this is these things don't go far enough. Like that transhumanism is just changing your body, but you also need to transform your soul, and you need to transform your whole self. And so,
right. But the other, wait. I generally agree with what I think is your belief that religion should be a friend to science and ideas of scientific progress. I think any idea of divine providence has to encompass the fact that we have progressed and achieved and done things that would have been unimaginable to our ancestors. But it still also seems like, the promise of Christianity in the end is you get the perfected body and the perfected soul through God's grace. And the person who tries to do it on their own with a bunch of machines is likely to end up as a dystopian character.
Well, let's articulate this.
And you can have a heretical form of Christianity, that says something else.
I don't know. I think the word nature does not occur once in the Old Testament, and so and there is a word a sense in which the way I understand the Judeo-Christian inspiration is it is it is about transcending nature. It is about overcoming things. And, and the closest thing you can say to nature is that people are fallen, and that's the natural thing in a Christian sense, is that you're messed up. And that's true. But, there's some ways that, with God's help, you are supposed to transcend that and overcome that.
Recently, there was an interview with transhumanist and huge technology, military, industrial complex guy, Peter Thiel, as you might know him from the founder of the PayPal mafia. He founded PayPal with Elon Musk and other people like Reid Hoffman. And then he became one of the founders of Palantir, which is based off the concept of Lord of the Rings, where you have a little ball and that ball tells you like the future, and you could see what's going on in an enemy's camp. It's like a magical device. And so he came up with this company, Palantir, to spy on everybody around the world using military industrial complex technology. So he had deals with the CIA, with the FBI, DHS, and so he's now known to be the guy that wants to expand the data surveillance, and he actually believes that crime will be stopped if there's more more surveillance in the world. As he's haven't seen Minority Report or The Matrix or Terminator or any of those movies, and he's actually fulfilling that. Well, in this interview, it was an hour-long interview, but I'm only playing a few minutes, and because they're important minutes, and he actually says that the technology that he's creating is actually like anti-fulfillment of the Bible, because the Bible, he talks about there's been relative peace and safety for the last 50 years because of some kind of technology, but his technology is going to make it better. And then he uses like 1 Thessalonians as a way to justify his creation of technology, saying that people who are anti-technology are antichrist. But wait a minute. People who are antichrist have the antichrist spirit. It has nothing to do with technology. Technology helps them in their idea to conquer the world, just like where it says Revelation 13, the beast or the false prophet will command the beast, and there will be fire coming out from heaven, and that is some sort of technology that comes from on high. And it could be actually rods of God technology or nuclear weapons. It depends what it is. We don't really know, but we can speculate based on evidence. But the thing is, as though Peter Thiel himself is a homosexual, gay guy who's like agnostic. He might believe in God, but he doesn't really subscribe to any belief. He likes Christianity, grew up in it, but the thing is that he is his own God, and he is trying to build his own system of control, and yet he can't even answer the question, should humanity be saved? He pauses at that, and you're going to see that in the clip. And I was like, what kind of human being who cares about human beings says that? That's the thing, though. You would have to be demon possessed to say that. You wouldn't care about other human beings. You're a cold-hearted, reptile. Even Peter Thiel's name anagram is reptile. If you look at it backwards, it's kind of weird. It's just an interesting thing. Kind of strange. But the thing is that only an anti-human demonic being would say that, especially if you were possessed by a satanic being or Satan himself, who hates human beings because he hates the image of God. So this is pretty important to watch, because it does tell you their plans, and he's absolutely wrong. Christianity he talks about Orthodox Christianity is about merging with God, becoming part of the divine. But the thing is that technology transhumanism just makes you become part flesh, part iron, just like in Daniel says. So you can't mix that together. You become a cybernetic organism, something completely different than who you were created to be naturally, so you can commune with the Spirit of God without having any kind of foreign technology inside your body. So he flips that on its head, saying that his technology is developing transhumanism technology, which is going to help us merge with God, which is absolute blasphemy. It's literally going to lead to the end of humanity. People don't understand that. Transgenderism is not the end of humanity, it's transhumanism. And that's, I believe, is what will make Jesus come back right before we destroy ourselves, plus the judgments of God upon the whole earth.